Hey guys, welcome to Void of Disc Gaming, your channel for fresh Arena of Valor content. And it's Animal Week again, or Animal Time, or Animal whatever. We are just playing animals. That Errol video was German, therefore that's some kind of like exception. But this time we're doing another animal. We have already the rabbit and we've got the fox. And this time we are going to go with the ape. I haven't played him in ages. I don't really play Wukong that much. I think he's a really cool character. I kind of like the fact that I had him in League of Legends as well. So there's some kind of like a familiar kind of thing because they both can be invisible. So I had a grasp for him, but he's actually more difficult to play. And I don't really like that much. So we have a Wukong game going on right now. And yeah, let me give you the build. And afterwards, I've got you some gameplay. If you enjoyed the video or if you enjoyed the type of content that I make, a subscription is always a nice feedback for me. And a thumbs up is, of course, nice as well. Well, anyways, let's go into the video and the build and stuff and things. So let's check out the build. It's completely focused on getting as much critical damage as possible. The main point about Wukong is coming from the abilities that make him want to crit as much as possible because his staff, I don't know why, but they clarified it in the passive. His staff has a 12% critical hit damage built into the wood or whatever he uses, metal or something like that. So we want to crit, and we want to crit as much as possible. Therefore, we've got the Soul Reaver. It's the damage item in the jungle. We play Wukong in the jungle. I don't think that on the solo lane he is doing that much of a pressure because he's still quite fragile. We're using the Gilded Greaves because we want to get out if we went in as soon as possible. He's by definition an assassin and we want to play him like that. I've got the Sancti. That's like the crit item overall. We've got the Omni Arms, which is a pretty decent item because it got plenty of different abilities and upgrades, such as normal attacks are improved. You've got more attack speed, you do get some lifesteal, you get some HP. Really, really good. We're using the Blade of Eternity just for the revive. If that item runs out, we are going with the Reaper's thing, the Scythe. And we've got Slick Sting because it has a critical chance improvement as well, but we're doing that quite late in the build. Arcana-wise, we are going with what I call my Crit Assassin build. So I've got 10 times Atrocity. You might use Rampage as well, but I have this one rune page for it, or it's one Arcana page for it, so I can't change that much. So it's Atrocity. We've got Gorilla for the movement speed and the attack speed, so more damage means more critical chances. And we've got Skewer just for the armor pierce, because that's quite important on every single melee hero. And this is nicely rounded by having the Axe of Sacrifice, dealing more damage. We've got the Blessing from the Veda, which gives us more critical chance from equipment, which kind of helps us with the Sancti as well as the Slicks. And I'm using Sacred Protection in this build because, as I said, you're quite nimble, you're quite fragile, so I want to kind of outplay this with having a shield. And I'm using Raging Inferno to increase our damage even further, as well as a Deadly Claw. So everything about this build is tweaked on maximum damage with maximal critical effects. That's the build. You want to dive in, you want to bomb out an AD carry, a mage, something in the backline, and then you want to be back again, because you've got all this kind of invisibility, you've got the skills, and that's that. That's the build. Let's see how it works. And that might be surprising for you guys. Here we go, guys. So, as I explained in the 2 videos before, we are playing him with the full crit item build in the jungle and I've chosen the second ability to be the ability that I want to go for. This is my damage ability. I don't know Wukong that much, so for experienced Wukong players that might just be, dude, you don't do that, but I just felt that it might be quite capable to do some damage at the beginning in the jungle because I want to clear as fast as possible. So as I said, like every single ability trembles, and trembling gives you some critical chance on the staff. Or is that in build? I don't play Wukong that much, so I don't really know that much about him. But I just figured out, like, I just do get this kind of invisibility stuff on the first ability, and I want to use the second one as my damage ability, and here we go. The game will be devastating, like we will have a kill spread here. The outcome is kind of questionable, but I hope you guys bear with me and watch the full video. That would be actually quite nice because it helps me a lot as a content creator. As you might know, I'm still about to get the 500 followers. If I can get them, that would be ace. And we're trying to get Brunhilde, but we are forcing her out of her comfort zone, and she has to flicker out of the whole hustle here. So it's not all about killing, it's sometimes just about positioning and zoning enemies, and that is sometimes as much as you want to do. I'm waiting for an opportunity here, but I see the Batman sign, and the Batman sign is never a good one. I thought that Isha was actually the furball and vice versa, so I did not really protect her. And I think the positioning was not the best one. So I'm continuing to clear my jungle, getting as many stacks and as many experience points and gold as possible. And I think clear speed is actually quite nice. Like, it's okay if you can proc the crits. Of course, in the beginning of the game, they don't usually do. So I've taken the Soul Reaver as my first item to be upgraded after I have managed to get my boots. I really like the boots. You become a little bit faster. And speed means just everything in the game. And I have hit her, but that was not that well executed. To be fair, she was actually wearing the Death Sickle. I should have put that into account, but I didn't, and therefore I was punished by getting killed. So I think that's just fair. She doesn't get a buff from it because she has died as well, so no one got the buff. But it wasn't clever. Let's put it like this. It wasn't clever. I should have done it otherwise. Not be that greedy. I just saw the window and I wanted to go in, and now we have another opportunity to get her. And again, she kind of moves out here. I'm using my abilities here to the fullest, trying to get a Dio-chan. And again, we've got Batman here, but Dio-chan doesn't stand a single chance against the combined forces of Isha and I. And we do get some damage on the Batman, but now it's the time to move out and get back to safety, because with not just one bar, but half of a bar, something like that, Wukong is actually super fragile. Use my ult here to get a little bit more damage out, just because I wanted to clear jungle as fast as possible to get back to the base and restore some health. And there we go. Sippy. So as the first two items if you take the boots into the item range, are already built. We're now going with the Sancti. It's a really favorable thing because you actually do get a lot of utility out of that because you are the crit champion. So this is really gonna help you. Need to retreat here because I don't want to face the full wrath of the Brunhilde. Doing some damage to that thing. And it helps you to get some more stacks on your jungle item. And that's something that you want to have. Putting everything into Batman, and there we go. Defeat. While Malak was defeated on the top lane against another Xanis. Xanis might be a pretty easy hero, but still he is still functionable. It doesn't really turn down his effectiveness, so you can still field him pretty much every single time in the game that you want to have him. And now we take the approach on the Abyssal Dragon. You can see that every single lane is pushed, so it wasn't the best decision in the game. But as we have started it and everything roamed down to the bottom lane, we have just the urge to finish it, because otherwise it would have been a waste of resources, and that would have been even worse than just getting it by the numbers. So it wasn't great, like the attempt wasn't great, but if we would not have tried to get the Abyssal Dragon, that would have been even worse, because splitting up after you see that every single lane is pushed and every single enemy is kind of getting their kind of towers, like the personal towers, is even worse. So we try to get an even score by getting these numbers by destroying some things. So now they are in my jungle, so that's always something that you want to try to avoid. Sometimes it's not possible, but I would say now we have the opportunity window, because we do get the Death Sickle out. I think it was the old Death Sickle, so that took a little bit longer. Now you have the window where an enemy hero, or just a hero, is able to kind of make use of it between 3 and 6 minutes. So if not for the sake of the game, that would not have been possible. So you guys need to take that into your strategy. If you can't use it between the 3rd and the 6th minute, it's just not happening. So that's the new Reaper's Blessing. That's how you want to call it. I was trying to make a move here, but then I just realized that we've got Brunhilde here, we've got the Xanis here, and I just decided to not go in for it, because that would just have been a really sacrificial mission, and therefore we are not going for it. And at the moment it's kind of a little bit confusing. We're here, there, we don't really have a plan, no one's really shout calling for it, and therefore we are just kind of clearing things without a clear strategy. And this is the cause. Like, we're just running around from one place to the other. No one's really gathering or grouping. They've got a really good tank with the Thane. Xanis is doing a shitload of damage. We've got a Lumbur. He's got a lot of CC, but he's not doing sufficient damage to be a threat to anyone. And that means that we have a hard time in the game. And you can see that by the numbers, 6-10. And if you just look at the map, we have just finished one tower. We've kind of demolished one tower to the very ground, and the enemy team is already approaching. They have managed to get one tower in every single lane, and that just means that they are a little bit ahead, especially if you take the amounts of killings into account. As far as I see, they did not really get one of the dragons, so that's nice. Nice Dio-chan ult. We're putting everything into her, and now Batman is still full life, and therefore he has an easy game on us. But he stays a little bit too long, and now we've got the upper hand because now we can actually start to make a play. "5-2 Batman versus 4-3 Wukong." Yes, he is a little bit ahead of me. But my team does a good spot. They get to the inner tower, or the first tower in the middle lane. And don't know what I wanted to call here. And this tower is defended by me. So nothing bad happened. Like, yes, the tower is really, really low, but still we managed to actually get back into the game 10-12. But it's not settled yet. So we need to be careful. We need to be really concise on everything that we do right now. I'm going in for as much jungle damage as possible. I've chosen the Blade of Eternity over the Slick things because I just wanted to have the revive effect. The other thing is quite nice, but it's kind of a top up. The Blade of the Eternity is kind of more of a staple, and therefore I opted in for that instead of getting something that might look like some base stuff that we don't really need at that time. So defeated the Zenith. Like, I think that move was pretty poorly executed. He was just stressing everything a little bit too much, and that gave me the opportunity to get the double kill on the Brunhilde. And now I'm triple killing the shit out of the Thane because I just could. Like, the good thing is about the Wukong as a champion that you're able to kind of choose your enemy because you are really easily focused and you can jump a lot. So as you see, Batman is a little bit behind. In fact, he's 2 levels behind. I don't know how he managed that to kind of be executed, because as you guys know from the screen before, he had 1 kill more and 1 death less than I did. But it might just be the fact that I farmed a little bit better, and therefore we are going in with a level 15 Wukong, just causing one of these mines to crash. And now we've got the Blade of the Eternity, so that means we're just 1 item ahead of being full build, and we use that to our very presence to get that tower down. And now we need to be careful, because it actually means that we have to face a lot of enemies. And now the good thing is it shows that I've procced the ability. I went out and in again. I can't do that a lot of times, but it's triple kill time again, and now I need to get out. So we kind of twisted a bad beginning in the first place, with a lot of towers diminished by the enemies, and they did a really good job on that. And now we turned it into more towers for our side, and on the other hand, more kills. So we are in the lead right now, and that's something that should be mentioned. Xanis is going in here, but yeah, he gets a tower, which is kind of like important for his team. Like, you can't blame him. He died to 4 of us, but he did a really good job on getting that tower, and therefore they are closing in, and that's the most important thing. Like, I can't stress it enough. It's not about getting killed, it's about getting objectives, and objectives are on the first level always towers. So you want to have as much towers as possible. We do get an easy Batman here. Our friend Malak goes in here using his ult, but he did not really catch it that easily. I need to be careful here, because Brunhilde can easily kill me with her ult if she has it ready, and her cooldown is really, really low. and that was bullshit. Like that was so out of reach. I was so low. I should have retreated. Sounds like retweeted. Like I would tweet something. I should have gone back to base and get back in with full life. There was a mess. Like 15-4, yeah, that's cool, but now I need to carry the full game just by my mere presence. And the good thing is they don't know where I am because my presence is most of the time hidden because I'm invisible. And Xana's and Batman are both really bad threats. Like I turned my phone around here a couple of times. Don't take that into account. It doesn't really matter. I've got my item for at least once. There's no need to rush gold because I have all the gold that I need. Even if I would swap to some other item, it would just be fine. And that Batman was an easy catch. Like that's something that you should avoid if you are leading the game. And I think the enemy was at that particular time. You shouldn't really do something like that. And I went in, and luckily for me, I went out soon enough, and they've got the Xanis. And instead of going home, I tried to push that lane, which is something that you can, like I'm doing shitloads of damage, which is actually quite nice. And my whole team is kind of doing stuff to the enemy team, so we do get another tower. But we haven't managed to close into the enemy tower here. And that's something that comes to the very mind. Like we should have worked our way into it. Could have just let Isha get that blue buff, but at the moment I'm on buff spree. Like I don't want the enemy to get any buff at all. Good thing is you're super mobile. Like look at that damage numbers. You're critting all the time, so that's actually super nice. But now you need to make way for it. And the item that I've been chosen was a Death Sickle because that's just something that prevents one fatal blow. So that's fine. And that was the mistake that I should not make. I got Brunhilde here, and I did not watch the map closely or carefully enough, and therefore I did not see that my whole team was wiped, or at least 3 members of the team, and now they've got the upper hand. That was my personal mistake that I've made it, and now I'm super psyched about it. Like I'm like, I need to clear this, I need to clear everything. Like I can't do that single-handed. Like yes, I'm 17-4, but I'm still an assassin, so I need some kind of preparation to do so, to be super effective, because otherwise I'm just hanging in some kind of tank moment, and what's gonna happen is I can't finish him. Look at that, like I'm not doing sufficient damage. I'm doing damage, which is fine, but this following up is just not really helping the team. Good thing is that Isha got the kill, so she is getting more gold, which actually means more gold means more items. So hopefully she's full build right now. But all in all, it wasn't the best movement. And that was questionable is not the right word. It was stupid. And now we kind of throw it. Everyone went in, but not as a team. So if we would have taken that to a team fight, yes, we did not do it. Stupid. Like that was stupid. Like it was just a moment of, and that was just super lucky. Like that the tower hit her or hit the enemy was just something that you can't really plan with. Like just not something that happens. And here we go. This is the end of the game. So basically the last situation of the game, me going in and everyone just following up one by one, has just quit us the game and we've lost. And this is something that I wanted you guys to show, because at first it's kind of Animal Week, so I tried to play every single enemies in a row. But on the other hand, it's actually showing like you can be the best carry in the game. I'm not, like I've got 17.5, which is actually quite good. But if you make the wrong movement, you are still about to throw the game. And that's just what happened. So thanks for watching. I hope you have a pleasant stay here at World of Dust Gaming. And I'm out right now. Don't do that.